Well, hello and welcome to Jibber-Jabber. I'm Anne-Marie. He's Chris, and this is your weekly helping of, as I said, Jibber-Jabber. So, anything, Chris, that you'd like to get off your chest? Have you learnt anything new? Is there anything that has grabbed you at all in this past week? What's going on?
Do you know what? This week has been kind of uneventful. Nothing really great has happened. I haven't learnt anything. Nothing bad's happened.
Really?
Actually, I did go to a certain farm where there were like rides and stuff, and I went on the dodgems. That was pretty good. And actually, I'm saying that I didn't learn anything, but actually, while I was there were some sloths, some slothies.
Love a sloth.
And what I did learn from reading the little thing on the front of their, not a cage, their enclosement. Enclosement. Is that even a word? Enclosement. What I learned was they sleep for between 15 and 20 hours of the day.
Really?
Isn't that quite incredible? 15 to 20 hours a day.
That is a lot of hours, isn't it?
That is a lot of hours. So on last week's show, we discussed about, are we spiritual or religious? And I had sort of talked about being quite spiritual. So in the next life, I would quite like to come back as a sloth.
So you can get your sleep in.
So I can get 15 to 20 hours sleep. Because as we've discussed many a time on this show, we're quite a fan of the nap.
We are. How many hours would you say is your ideal amount of sleep then, Chris?
Probably, I think, about maybe 8.5.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm not far off. I do like to have between maybe 7 or 8 hours sleep, and if anybody breaks that, it's not great.
It's sort of run for the hills. I'm not saying that.
And don't bother me until I've had a cuppa in the morning.
Oh yeah, I need to have a coffee in the morning before I'm good for anything.
Should we get on with the show?
Let's get on with the show.
What do you consider the ultimate comfort food?
So mine is going to be a little bit strange, but I will explain why this for me is the ultimate comfort food. So it is muesli. Now, I know, but wait for it. Let me give you the backstory.
Okay.
So muesli, my great-grandmother, and when I say great-grandmother, she was pretty great, but she was actually my mother's grandmother, which makes her my great-grandmother, and she was pretty great. But that's the family tree. My mother's grandmother. She used to make muesli as a kid, and how she used to make it. So you get your muesli, you put a little bit of hot water in, you put some hot milk in, you put sugar in it, and you put butter in it. Honestly, it is like the best thing ever.
Oh,
but the reason for me why I do also love I love it, but the reason why for me it is the ultimate comfort food is because it kind of reminds me of her.
Oh,
so it
very
takes me back.
Sentimental then.
Yeah, so that it takes me back to that time. It takes me back to being a kid of 5, 6. So it's my ultimate comfort food.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So what about you, though? What's your ultimate comfort food?
So I'll be honest, I've got a couple depending on my mood. So this probably doesn't sound great, does it? But I'm a massive foodie person, if you didn't already know. And as you probably are already aware, Chris, I do like to eat. I'm forever eating. So comfort foods, depending on my mood, I quite like a big bar of chocolate. Do you know, if I've had a really challenging week or a really tough week, I do love to sit on my own with a bar of chocolate and not have to share it with anybody.
So is there a particular chocolate bar that you favour over others?
There is.
Enlighten us. What is this chocolate bar?
Dairy Milk.
I'm a big fan of... is it... we'll just say we're not sponsored by them, but if they're willing to sponsor, then we're open to it. Cadbury's, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Another one for me is, so when I was a child, Sunday lunch was definite every week. We'd always have Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
Bless my mum. She would spend hours in the kitchen making roast dinner. So that for me is another one. If I've been down in the dumps and I just fancy something really nice bit of comfort food, nice roast dinner.
Yeah, a lot of people going for a roast, don't they? Not my favourite, I've got to be
Yeah,
honest.
I do love a roast. I do love a roast. And even better if it's got broccoli in cheese sauce. Oh,
Ooh, that is good.
oh.
I'm a big fan of pasta. I love pasta. Like I could eat pasta all day, every day. Just a blimmin' big fan of the pasta.
My daughter
What
and
can
my
I say?
husband both love pasta. I do like pasta. It's not that I don't dislike pasta, but I couldn't eat it all of the time, you know? But another one for me as well, if I'm being totally honest, is you know how going back to what you said, memories of grandparents. So
Yeah,
my memories of being with my grandmother are custard cream biscuits
yeah.
and jam donuts.
Jam donuts. Well, this is
Jam
interesting. Actually, going back to
donuts.
my great grandmother, I will always associate her with cherry bakewells because it was all about cherry
Oh.
bakewells and sugary tea. You know,
Oh,
she
no,
would have
the
spent her
jam
last pennies on
donuts.
those kind of things.
No, the jam donuts for us because the baker would call first thing
Mm.
in the morning with fresh bread and jam donuts. I can remember the coal man coming as well with coal, so it's going
Oh,
back a bit. Yeah,
that's yeah. We used to have a house way back when where we had a coal fire, and the house was heated by a coal fire. And
yeah,
sometimes in the winter it was warmer outside than it was inside because the
inside.
fire had a better social life than us and was always bloody out. Um,
Oh
yeah,
no.
do you know what? Going back to jam donuts, this week I made. I found this. I saw this recipe on. I think it was Instagram. So I made shop bought jam donuts. You can whatever ones you want. Just get each shop bought jam donuts, chop them up, put them in a baking dish. Put a little bit of butter in to sort of grease it. Throw those in a baking dish. Throw on shop bought custard. It could be from a tin, a packet, whatever. Throw that all on. Fresh raspberries. Let it sort of set for about 30 minutes. Pop it in the oven at 180. Not sure what that is on gas. I think it's probably about like 6, maybe. For about 40 minutes. Take it out. Honest to God, it is the best thing you will ever have.
I'm going to be honest with you, Chris. I'm going to pass on that one because I'm not a big fan of custard.
So the custard doesn't come out like custard. The custard just helps it set. So do you like bread and butter pudding?
No,
Oh, then you wouldn't like this then. But for the
no.
rest of you, go and try it. Honestly, it was the best thing. I am now making this for Christmas dessert because I was like, this is flipping brilliant.
On that note, never have I ever, Chris. Oh, don't you just love a never have I ever?
I actually do, but I feel like the more and more this series goes on, the more and more I'm getting myself in trouble.
Never have I ever dined and dashed.
Now, I haven't quite done this, but again, we're going through the Rolodex of when I was a student and very badly behaved. When I was a student, there was this Chinese restaurant, like a takeaway restaurant. And
Okay.
sometimes we would have spent out on our money. So we used to write checks and the checks would bounce. So much so, we did it so often that establishment stopped taking checks and you had to pay with cash only.
No.
So we would always, that is shameful. But can I just say, we still would always have to pay because they would always somehow get in touch with us. So it was just that we would sort of delay the payment with the check. But yeah, theoretically, I suppose in a roundabout way, I have dined and dashed.
Oh, Chris, that's not good, is it? That's not good. I can't say that I ever have, I'll be honest with you. I think the worst dine and dash I've ever done is maybe when my mum has said to me, "Oh, you're going to have roast dinner with us this week?" And I'll say, "Yeah, okay, that'll be lovely." And then we've planned to do something else. So it is literally call in for roast dinner. And then as soon as you finished your food, heading back out again. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
I suppose, yeah, that's a more diluted version of the dine and dash. But I guess that would be quite annoying for mum, right?
Yeah.
Spending hours slaving away at a Sunday roast, and then AM pops in, literally munches down, and off she pops.
Yeah, literally. It's not good, is it?
Wow.
Sorry, mum.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And sorry to that Chinese restaurant that I bounced so many checks at all those years ago. Shall we get into the next one before I get myself into more trouble?
Yes. What bodily function do you wish would just go away?
I think I'm going to pick coughing for this one.
Oh, okay.
And it's not for reasons why people might think. Coughing it always happens at the worst times. Do you know, like when you're, I don't know, sometimes when you're laughing and then you go into that coughing fit and then you look a mess
Yeah.
because you're coughing so badly. And also as well, I kind of have like allergies. So even with the cat hair and stuff like that, sometimes if I'm sat on the sofa, I'll start coughing because there's cat hair somewhere, and I'm constantly like hoovering the sofa to make sure there's none of it around. But yeah, I would say coughing because, and when you cough and your eyes are like popping out of your head and you're streaming, it's just not great.
That's an allergy. That's an allergy.
It is an allergy, yeah. But it also happens when I get myself into a giggling mood where I've chuckled myself and suddenly then I'm like, I sound like Daffy Duck. So I'm going to go with coughing. What if there was one bodily function to get rid of? What are you going to pick?
Oh, I'm going to be honest with you. Belly growling.
Oh, that's a good one.
Belly growling. I don't know what it is about my belly, Chris, but do you know when you're in them situations where you're in a really quiet room and there's no sound, and then my stomach goes, and the whole room you can feel them looking at you and you've got to go, oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know also when you get that thing in your belly, like, I don't know if it's acid and it makes that funny sort of wibble wobble sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. These can be quite embarrassing. Has there been a time when it has happened where your tummy has like growled at the worst time?
Yes, there's been a couple of times. And to the point where my belly has growled and it sounds like you're passing wind and you're not passing wind. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Has that ever happened to you?
Not where it sounds like I'm passing wind. No, I don't think so. No,
it has with me.
These are pretty good ones. Yeah, I think for me it's definitely the coughing and maybe sneezing. Although I've got to say I quite enjoy a sneeze. That's weird, isn't it? Do you remember Helen from Big Brother? I like blinking. I do.
I like blinking. That's a Welsh thing, isn't it?
Do you remember that girl from Big Brother?
Sneeze, I do.
Yeah, that's why I quite like a sneeze.
Word of the week.
Go on.
Do you know what it is? Have you got any guesses? None.
No idea what it is. None. Zero. Zilch.
Whiffler.
What was it? Whiffler. Would you like to spell that for us?
WHIFFLER. So WHIFFLER. Whiffler.
Whiffler. What does that mean? What's the definition of it?
Somebody who walks in front of you through a crowd.
Oh.
Don't. Has this ever happened to you?
All the flipping time, the dilly-dalliers. Now, we did discuss this before in a show, and I can't remember if that show was released. Yes. Because I think we discussed it before, where when I don't know if you've done this exercise, but when I was studying acting, there was this exercise where you'd all walk around the room and you'd walk into space. And it was all about finding the space in the room, so you like spatial awareness.
Yes, so this I have done this exercise.
Yeah, so this is always like stuck with me. So whenever I'm in a crowded place, I will try and find the space. So I will walk into the space as opposed to like try and be behind somebody or taking up the room. However, one of these, what are they called? Whifflers? Is that the word?
Yeah.
A whiffler. There's always a bloody whiffler somewhere, isn't there? Just getting in your way, and then they'll go at such a slow pace.
Yes.
Whiffler, Tesco's, supermarkets.
Oh, they're renowned for it, them whifflers.
But a whiffler with a trolley is worse than a whiffler with a carrier bag.
Indeed, especially when they just stop dead in the aisle. What's going on? Can't you just grab what you want and go? Do you have to stand there and read every label? And granted, some people do. There are allergies, etc., etc. So I need to be careful what I'm saying. I'm not going to lie. However, when you go around a supermarket, there's so many people that do this. And people that just clog up the aisle.
And also when you go to like shopping centres.
Yeah.
Oh, there is nothing worse than in a shopping centre and people are being whifflers all around the place. It really frustrates me. And I think as well, the more, especially because often when I'm out and about, I'm like on a mission. So I've got a place to be and I'm getting there. And I feel like these whifflers are just getting in my way, like in the Truman Show, and they're trying to stop me from going where I need to go. And I'm always like, oh my God, am I in the Truman Show? Is my life actually the Truman Show?
So the moral of this story then is if you see Chris or I coming along, do not be a whiffler and move aside. How much do you love a debate? We're not very good at debates, though, are we? We're not very good at debates, I'm not going to lie. It sounded good, though, right? It sounded good.
It sounded so good. It sounded better than the debate itself actually was. I think, quite honestly, when we come back next season, we are not going to be bringing this category back with us.
We're a bit rubbish at the weekly debate, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, shall we have a weekly debate?
Go on, then.
Should people have the right to wear pajamas in public?
Well, what? Listen, if you've got like a nice checkered, fleecy set of pajamas, why not? But
why not?
What if you're that type of person that wears, a backless thong to bed? Is that appropriate for we're calling that pajamas?
Why would you go down this route? Why would you?
I think it's if that, because what one person deems as pajama wear and another person deems as pajama wear is completely different. So am I offended if I'm in a supermarket or a little shop and somebody comes in their onesie? Absolutely not. But if somebody comes in like a baby doll negligee, is that not slightly inappropriate?
Well, yeah, I guess it would be.
This is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because often you do see people in shops with their pajamas. And I think there are shops that have now banned people from wearing their pajamas in.
Wow.
But this, I think maybe we should sort of turn the question. Would you go to the shop in your pajamas?
Do you know how you can... Do you know how you can get pajamas that are not so obvious pajamas?
Oh, like loungewear.
Yeah, lounge. I love a loungewear. So it just looks like you got maybe like a cheap pair of joggers on and a coat to cover up the top is great, right?
But it's a fine line, right?
It is a fine line. I wouldn't go out in pajamas that are obviously pajamas.
Pajamas. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think go out in pajamas. I'd probably go in a lounge suit though. I'd be happy with that.
I mean, I've been known to see that some schools have even asked for parents not to pick up their children on the school run in pajamas. And I know that, I don't know if it still stands though, many years ago, a very well-known supermarket banned customers from wearing pajamas into their stores.
See, this is what I'm talking about. For me personally, right, I think listen, school run, what time does school start? You've got to be there for, is it like 8, half 8?
So, I mean, if they go to like a breakfast club or something, it's normally about 8:05 until about 8:30. And then normally you can drop off for just school run at 20 to 9. So it's not overly early, is it?
Well, you say this. What I think though is if you're getting up and you're getting your kids ready and maybe you've got a couple of kids, maybe you've got 3 or 4 kids, is there any time to get yourself ready? I do not see any harm in a parent, as long as it's like respectable pajama wear and everything is covered up and things aren't hanging out. I don't see the issue with throwing a coat on, getting your shoes on and dropping your kids off to school. Quite honestly, if you've got to pick up a pint of milk on the way back home as well, is there any, like, there are worse things in the world. So I'm gonna, and also people.
So can I turn it around a little bit?
Yeah,
I appreciate where you're coming from, so I'm going to turn it around a little bit. If you're on school pickup, so you're there at the end of the school day to pick up, is that then okay to wear pajamas?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know what you've been doing with your day. Perhaps you've been busy cleaning. Perhaps you've been busy, maybe not getting the weekly shop because certain supermarkets have banned you from wearing your pajamas. But maybe, I don't know what you've been doing. Is it acceptable? I don't know. Some people are just comfortable in their pajamas. Yeah, as long as it's not inappropriate in the sense, like I said, where's the line? Like, if somebody's going to wear like a thong and a see-through bra to bed, or they're going to wear, a jock strap to bed for the males out there, then yeah, that's inappropriate. Nobody wants to be seeing that. But if you're covered up, what's the harm?
And might I just add as well, we've got some absolute saints who actually work night shifts and are only just getting out of bed to do the school run.
Exactly. You see?
So we've got to take that into consideration as
We've
well,
got to take
haven't
this
we?
into consideration. I'm going to say, as long as you're covered up and it's not inappropriate in terms of, too much flesh on display,
What
then
is
it's...
that? What is that word? I'm thinking of a word here and I can't think of it. If it's not obvious, it's...
What is this word?
I don't
If
know.
it's...
Should
Give
I
me a clue.
Google it?
Yeah,
Do you
Google
know
it.
what? My brain is not working. I do apologise to any listeners listening in. I am going into Google so that I can Google the word that I want. Bear with.
So AM is Googling the word, and then what we will do in post-edit is we will shrink it down to make it seem there's been less of a gap than there actually is.
Discreet. That's
Is that the word?
That's the word.
Discreet.
I told you my brain wasn't working. If
There
it's
we go.
discreet,
Google failed us. If it's
Google
discreet,
failed
I
us.
agree. I agree. If it's discreet, and I don't see the harm in it myself. Life's busy. Some people don't have time. Yeah, wear your pajamas out if you want. I'm voting yes.
Keep it discreet.
Keep it discreet. Keep it respectable, and keep it wholesome. But you wear your pajamas out. I am voting you should be able to wear your pajamas out.
Wear them trendy pajamas. So that brings us on to our review section.
I do love a review.
You do like a review, don't you?
I love a review.
Yeah. So this particular review comes from Amazon. Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh. So I'm assuming they sell food, is that right?
Must do, yeah.
Okay.
It's good, isn't it? Handy.
So...
Accept. One of the reviews reads, on your ad it says no dairy, yet your ingredients list whole egg. That is dairy. Why? For vegan, that is not an ingredient that should be in no dairy. And their answer is dairy is a milk product, in this case from cows. Cows do not lay eggs. Eggs are not milk. Eggs are not a dairy product. Chickens lay eggs. They do not make milk.
Well, we have learned something today. Although I don't think eggs are a vegan product, though.
No, I don't think they are.
So that seems...
I don't know how to feel about this, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
No
I feel
offense.
You've made a lovely little comment in your response, but I still think that an egg wouldn't be a vegan product.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Maybe it's not a dairy product either, but I don't think it's a vegan product. When I was vegan for about 20 seconds, I remember eggs being off the menu.
Well,
that one is... that one, I don't know how to feel about that one.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, got any more over there?
So yeah, moving on to our next review then.
Yes.
1-star rating on this one. 1 star. Critical professionalism.
Oh.
That's what it's titled. 1 sentence. Very unprofessional. Do yourself a favour and go elsewhere.
Well.
We do have a response. Rob, you've never been here. I do, however, remember you from my previous clinic where you harassed me for asking you to wear a mask. The rules of the business at the time, last October, including screaming cuss words in my face in the lobby.
Ooh.
I'm absolutely thrilled that you haven't come to my new clinic, as you are absolutely not welcome here. We have incredible clients who have mutual respect for not only me as their doctor, but my staff as well. Bad behaviour like yours is not tolerated, nor should it be. Good riddance. The trash took itself out.
Wow, what a response.
Oh, that's harsh, isn't it?
That is harsh. But then, I guess if Rob's been harassing them, we don't know the backstory. And what can I say? But what a killer response.
What a killer response. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
That vet definitely put Rob down. You see what I did there? Vet.
Oh.
Any more for any more?
Let's have a look, shall we? So a review on a friend's bar
Ooh.
says that Max left the review as a 1 star. I
And
love
this was
a
his
pint.
friend's bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the title. A review on a friend's bar. 1 star.
Right. 1 star.
1 star. I love a pint. I love an Irish bar. I love a beer garden. What I don't love is when the bar staff keep serving me pints in the roasting sun and don't advise me to cover up or offer me sun cream. I'm this day and age. Not in this day and age. I'm this day and age.
I'm this day and age.
Yeah, you'd expect the staff to offer such services. I am furious. I cannot express my rage. My face is red with anger and sunburn, and my arms look like drumsticks. I won't be back anytime soon.
Do you know what? The level, we did it last show as well, but the level of self-entitled people is off the chart.
Off the chart. Why do you think that it is down to bar staff to say, all right, would you like some sun cream? You look a bit red.
But do you know what? I reckon if they even had done that, this is the type of guy that would have kicked off and
Because
then
they'd
been
offered
offended
it.
because they'd offered it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
definitely. I'm in agreement here. Definite agreement. There's a very fine line.
Definitely fine. And have we got any more of that before we wrap up?
We have. We've actually got another 2. Do you think we got enough time?
2. Yeah,
another
go on, let's throw them in.
Come on,
let's
then.
throw them in. Come on.
So, from a local chocolate shop's Google reviews, 2 star. Here's the thing. I'm going to attempt to get a job there since I really need one. And if they hire me, then I'll say nice things about them and this store. But if they don't let me join, then I will say bad things about the place.
Well.
Somebody has actually commented on this saying, I seriously hope they tore your application up in front of your face.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Oh gosh, people, pull yourselves together.
Come on.
Come on.
What's going on in the world?
Honestly, I have no idea.
One way of getting a job? I don't think so.
That's not I'm not a careers advisor, but I can definitely say that is not a good way to secure yourself a job.
I don't think you got the job, pal. So the last one that I've got is customer is upset that a mattress store won't help them move. 3-star review. Yeah, 3-star review. They sold us a nice bed, but 2 years later, when we were moving, they refused to help us move the bed, even after we offered to pay for it. So in our opinion, all they do is sell beds. Don't expect any else after that.
Do you know what? Their typing error probably was because they were so enraged.
I know. And one of the comments that this one has had is, my grocery store won't cook for me. Horrible.
And you know what? What more is there to say on that?
There is nothing, is there? You can't say anything to that. Oh, my dear. On that note, Chris, I'm afraid it is time to say goodbye to our lovely, lovely listeners. So if you have been listening, thank you very, very much. This is the last in our series this time. We are going to be back with more, and I can confirm that we have got a Christmas special and a New Year's special coming up. So on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, we will be doing our Christmas special, and then our New Year's special will be on the 31st of December. So looking forward to having you all back for them too. In the meantime, I'm Anne-Marie, he's Chris, and this has been Jibber-Jabber.